The Porirua situation is slightly different, but it's pretty common across the entire Motu. For the reasons that have been said before, the system is broke. And until central government actually has the courage to change the way that funding for local government is done, this is going to be exactly the dilemma that every council across the country is facing and has faced. I've been on council for 6 years, had to go through a long-term plan twice, had to go through annual plans. There's a guy named Alan who's this kaumatua who I seem to find he is always at the same place I am. And he says the same thing to me every single time: please make the rates fairer. And, it's not fair when central government, encapsulated by that wonderful man, the Prime Minister, goes to a function for local government New Zealand and says, hey, you need to fund the basics and fund them well, and then takes $6 million from Porirua City Council from the transport budget that they have had to make a commitment for. So we are dealing with a stacked deck here already with regards to the role of central government. That's why it is important to get a Labour government and central government sorted out. The second part of this is also one of the reasons why the rates have gone up by 30% over the last 2 years is the realisation that for the last 40 years we have been chronically underinvesting in things like the pipes under our feet. We have had candidate after candidate, years before I was even old enough to vote, say, vote for me and I'll keep your rates down. And then when confronted with the reality, when they're around the table, they come up with, well, we'll sweat that asset a little longer. We'll sweat that asset a little longer. We'll sweat that asset a little longer. And this thing just keeps going and going and going until you get to a point now where we are having to play catch up. One of the greatest shames in my life is I don't sell pitch or concrete or steel. And if anyone knows what the local government price index is, the shorthand of it is the price of pens and vegetables go up by the CPI. Local government costs have gone up like this because everybody all of a sudden wants to fix everything on their pipes, which is a good idea, but I'm not getting rich on that. So one of the things that I will say around the hustings is that irrespective of whatever happens beyond the change in water service delivery, and Wellington does a good favour by voting to look at a regional council-controlled organisation. But when you take out the assets and the servicing costs and the burden on ratepayers, it was covered on YouTube. If you ever want to find something to make you fall asleep in a council meeting, just watch Porirua City Council. I'm sorry for that. But in one of those workshops, they talk about the officer saying, back at the postcard calculation, once this is all divvied up, the rates are going to go down by approximately 24%. Now, that was a rough estimate. I've never heard of a situation where your rates would go down by 24%. But if there are voters out there who are thinking that their vote is going to be determined on how low their votes are going to go, it won't matter who you vote for because the rates are going to go down anyway. I could be cheeky and say you're welcome. I don't know. Kia ora.